And all of a sudden, me and Debbie got tired. So I grabbed her hand and we went in the car. She said, that's right. That's what you better do. What's wrong with you? Yeah. Yeah, that's what you do. You don't feel right? Tie your ass to the fucking car, Jim. Yeah. I know somebody else probably would have did that. It'd have been Tasha L. Tasha L. Tasha L is a member, y'all. Hey, Tasha L. Tasha L. Tasha L is a member, y'all. Go. Tasha L, yeah. Tasha L. Tasha L is a member, y'all. Go. Tasha L. Tasha L. Tasha L is a member, y'all. Tasha L, thank you for your membership, mama. Somebody, like somebody could get me confused with what Mark Carey or what everybody else say. But when you got a platform with over 1 million people in there, Tasha, thank you for your membership, Mama. I appreciate that. I'm sorry if I slighted you in a certain way for your Gene Deal song. I'm gonna do a video with that song. I'm gonna do a video. Can I get some Gene Deal dancers? Can I get some Gene Deal dancers for the video? Rio Lewis. I'm still speaking the truth, man. Boss chick, where my mom's at? Pam Danzy. Hey Pam, what's up, mama? What's good with you? Hey Tisha J. Tisha J, I'm one of her favorite guys. I appreciate Tisha J. We need some Gene Deal dancers for the video. Jose, pick me out some Gene Deal dancers. Jose, you won't stop fucking with me like you ain't have a whole head that'll chase you to your grave. I'm petty as fuck. Yo, Jose, I can be petty as fuck, bro. I think some of that shit, some of my shit rubbed out on 50 back in the day. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, she said some other things. What else she said? She said that I said I saw him lace bottles and all that shit like that. I'm like, who the fuck is she talking about? Yo, sometimes these motherfuckers be telling me like, yo, and they put Gene Deal name on. I'm like, who the fuck are they talking about? Because they ain't talking about me. They can't be talking about me. What's up, bro? What's that? Mm-hmm. Well, we do that, bro. Look, I'm doing a show right now. Let me hit you after I finish so we can talk about it. All right? All right, later. Yeah, I just don't like, I just hate people. They got these certain platforms, man. Who that right there? I gotta write this down, man. I'm sorry about that, y'all. I gotta write this shit down. Shout out to Lucky Lefty, Dr. DeCosta, Billy Queen, James Davis. What up with you, boy? So, you know, let's get something straight, man. I'm still waiting. Nobody put up a black American that we know in America that sexually shot over 100 people, and I'm waiting on that. I'm really waiting on that. Yeah, I know, love. I know all this gossip shit around my name comes with the territory of who I am there, because people wasn't saying my name 5-6 years ago like that. People wasn't even saying old boy name like that. They were scared to do shows. When I gave all this information years ago, people were scared to do shows on it. They were scared to do shows on it. A-Chef Official, A-Chef Official, A-Chef Official is a member, y'all. Yeah, A-Chef Official, A-Chef Official, A-Chef Official is a member, y'all. Go, A-Chef Official, A-Chef Official, A-Chef Official is a member, y'all. Go, A-Chef Official, A-Chef Official. Yo, A-Chef Official, get Gene some Gene Deal dances, man, for the video I'm about to do, bro. And thank you for your membership. Appreciate you, A-Chef Official. Yo, so now, listen, Ma. Got all the respect in the world for your womanhood. But don't tell lies on Gene Deal. Don't say Gene Deal said this and said that when it's not true. And you can't even bring nothing up on that. Don't think Gene Deal give a fuck or care about any of these lawyers out here, because they ain't got nothing on me. Like I said, I worked 2 jobs for a long time. Check my Social Security credits. My time.
Check my Social Security, Jack. I'm straight.
Where I was supposed to be.
Check my federal income tax. I'm straight.
Because I came out and spoke up for Big. I spoke up for Wolf. I spoke up for D. Ferd. I spoke up for all the people around that wouldn't speak up for themselves and their mamas and everything like that. You even said I said that I saw him slap his mama. Nigga, if he'd have put his hands on his mama, nigga, it wouldn't have been no fucking dick. Nigga, I'm from the Show Me State. You don't do your mama like that. You don't do your mama like that. And nobody, ain't no real nigga gonna ever see a nigga do something to their mama, their own mama. And your friend do something to his mama, and you gonna sit around there and you ain't gonna beat his motherfucking ass. That's the era I come from. We didn't cuss when grown folks came on the bus or nothing like that. That's the era when I come from. When old people walk down the streets, we made sure they were safe. That's the era I came from. Chris 14, thank you. We got Josh B. Josh B. Josh B is a member, y'all. Oh, Josh B. Josh B. Josh B is a member, y'all. Go, Josh B. Yeah. Josh B. Josh B is a member, y'all. Oh, Josh B. Yeah, Josh B. Josh B, thank you for your membership to the Gene Deal Show. Appreciate you. Josh B, you got to find me some Gene Deal dancers so we can do this video, player. Yes, y'all. Courtney Johnson, thank you for that. Appreciate that, Courtney Johnson. for? You doing a Gene Deal Show video? Yeah. We gonna do the Gene Deal Show video. We gonna do this. So now, I'm learning that when you have a platform that is growing and is large, you have a certain responsibility to the people who come and view you. It's good to be entertaining. It's good to give them your opinion. It's good to let people know. See, Russell, what up with you, Q? Ruru. It's good to let these people know that these the opinion of you and your channel. But tell the people the truth. Be factual. Don't lie on people. Just for the entertainment part of it and think you're gonna get away with the shit by saying allegedly and all that other bullshit. The quickest God has given you things, and God will take things away from your ass, or take you away from those things. And that's true shit. When I started my journey on to write a book, I came, the dude named Shu, he was in the book business at one time, and he said, yo, Gene, I deal with this lady named Karen Hunter. She wrote Al Sharpton, she wrote Salt and Pepper, she wrote Janet Jackson. You know, he didn't say, I don't think she wrote Janet Jackson's book at the time, but, she had wrote a lot of books, Karen Hunter. Somebody said she was on Serious Satellite and everything like that. So now, I was shopping my story, and this was way back in 2005, 2006. So, he came to me, one of the dude who was managing Danny Kane, which was Dr. J's son. The basketball player, Dr. J's son, was one of the managers of Danny King. Him and this other dude wanted to do a video on me. His name was Chris. This was like 2004, 2003. Ricardo McKendricks Jr. They came to me. I don't know, was it Chris Irving? I don't know his name, but it's Dr. J's son. Skin curly hair motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And Ricardo McKendricks Jr. They was part of Ricardo McKendricks Jr.'s father was part of the Junior Black Mafia in Philly. They came and gave me a paper bag. Called Chico's.
self-employed or running a small business? Wouldn't it be great if it was easy to stay organized and on top of your finances? Then Skynova is for you. At Skynova, you can make professional-looking invoices, track expenses, and so much more. And everything is automatically organized. It helps you stay on top of who you need to invoice, who's paid, and who's past due. You'll always know how your business is doing, and it's so much easier to fill out your tax papers. Now, who doesn't want that? Sign up today at skynova.com. Stay organized and breathe easier during tax season.
In the heart of nature's raw beauty lived the chosen few, bound by love for tradition and driven by the thrill of the chase. A heritage passed down through generations, kept alive by the stories we tell and the gear we carry. At Eastern Outfitters, we do the outdoors better.
Then Charles Shue, they were talking and they wanted to do a book deal. Wow. I didn't know. Maybe it's him. He was a part of Danny DeCane. Him and Puff was beefing all the fucking time. True story. Alright. So let me hurry up and finish the story. Charleston Schumann came and gave me a deal. It was with Karen Hunter. Karen Hunter had a deal with Simon and Schuster, one of the biggest publishing houses in the world. They gave me $25,000. The deal was for $75,000. They gave me $25,000 up front, and they was going to give me the other. I said I want the other 50 at the end of the book. But I sat down with Miss Hunter, Karen Hunter, and I said, Miss Hunter, listen here. I've been getting a whole lot of free money for a couple of years. She said, you said free money? I said, yeah. I said, I got 2 writers, publishers like that, who said that I can keep the money and don't worry about it. One person gave me $2,000 just for my time. The other person gave me like 6 or something like that, just for my time. When I'm telling the story, writing everything down, because they were supposed to be writing a book on it. And I said, I've been getting free money, man, because when I start telling my story and we get into the story, they realize that they're not going to be so famous or they're not going to be so likable by doing these books and doing this book and letting it get to the public and the people that represent Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. It's not going to be favorable or towards them. They're not going to like them. It's going to be some shit behind it. So I had that conversation with Miss Hunter. Miss Hunter, I don't want to do you to get into this if you're going to be worried about Russell Simmons, because the story's about Russell Simmons. The story's about this individual, that individual. You know what I'm saying? She said to me, I don't care nothing about none of that. I'm doing the story. It don't matter. Blase, this, that, and the third. Night. I was hyped. I was, ooh, a strong black woman. She's a strong black woman. She made me feel like shit. I might be a strong black man if I get this. Joke a book, and I'm not really reading it and stuff like that. Because when I actually got it and I read it, I was like, yo, who the fuck wrote this? Who said this? It wasn't a Gene Deal book, and I still have the manuscript that she did. I still have it. And my book is nothing like that at all. So, 2 weeks before I was supposed to get my $50,000, 2 weeks before the big book should be turned in, she stopped calling. She stopped returning my calls. I was calling her all kinds of nights, all kinds of days. I was calling her like she owed me child support. I was calling her like that. She never called back. Then she finally called back and said, you really don't have a story. I don't want to do the book. I said, I read Salt and Pepper book, the book you did on Pepper. And even though Pepper's a star, my book and my story is better than the story of Pepper. I even wrote a story about Pepper in my book. I wrote a story about Pepper in my book. She said, I didn't have a book. I didn't have a story to tell. You go do the numbers on Amazon and see how many books Gene Gill is selling. My Royal Bodyguard and Hip Hop Star. And I just have YouTube for promotion. I just have Instagram for promotion. I have these shows I do for promotion. Life After Death, when Bodyguard and Hip Hop Star. Gene Deal is the author. I wrote every word. Every word I wrote. You ask some people, they'll tell you. It's a must read. You gotta get it. Probably one of the best true hip-hop books that's out there. Michelle, what's wrong with you? Hold on. Michelle Lechinsky, who doesn't love some Uncle Gene? You can't help but love him. Someone get that man some dances already. Thank you, Michelle. Michelle know I need dancers. Michelle know I need dancers. Oh my God. Yo, y'all go on Amazon, get these books, or y'all can cash out Big Gene 52, $50 PayPal, and I get them out to you. Right. I want to let y'all know I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling fine as a member, y'all. Oh, feeling fine. I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling fine as a member, y'all. Go, oh, feeling fine. Yeah, feeling fine. I'm feeling fine as a member, y'all. Oh, feeling fine. I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling fine as a member, y'all. Thank you, feeling fine, for your membership. Like in AITV. Like in AITV. Like in AITV is a member. They a member. Life in AITV. Like in AITV. Like in AITV. AITV. Life in AITV is a member, y'all. Is a member. Life in AITV. That's hard as hell. Life in AITV. Thank you for your membership. You and Michael Hope. Michael Hope. Michael Hope is a member, y'all. Oh, Michael Hope. Michael Hope. Michael Hope is a member, y'all. Go, Michael Hope. Michael Hope. Michael Hope is a member, y'all. Go, Michael Hope. Michael Hope. Michael Hope, thank you for your membership and your easy name. Appreciate you. So, I go through that whole thing with Miss Karen Hunter about my book and everything, and she promised me and gave me her word that she was going to write and finish the book. And she did. She didn't give me no excuse. She ain't say nothing. And it's fine and good. And she tried to act like I had threatened her. I was threatening her. You know, this, that, and the third, which I really could have. I found out later, I could have sued for the money because it wasn't because of me that they didn't finish the book, that the book didn't get finished. It was because she reneged on the deal. But I walked away with 25 racks and ended up writing 2 books of my own, with a third one about to come out. And I have all the rights and everything to them. So the reason I'm bringing her up and bringing her up part of this, she did not tell the full truth on her show about what happened with the book and the story. But it's okay. Listen, I'm gonna ask y'all for a favor. Tell your podcasters out there, if they gonna speak on Gene Deal name, it's okay. Just take the lies out of it. Listen, y'all, thank y'all for y'all time today. I appreciate y'all. Now y'all go watch y'all favorite.
They will actually pay you for just playing their games. There's this app called Just Play. You can withdraw the money you earn every 3 hours. And get this, there's no minimum to cash out. You can play as much as you want, from puzzles to casual games. If you could use some extra cash, I know I did, you're gonna love it. You really need to give this a try.
Young Thug is his probation. If you don't know, Young Thug is on like 15-year probation or some crazy thing like that. The state of Georgia has not filed for Young Thug's probation to revoke. Okay, they filed a motion for the revocation of his probation. I'm going to tell you why. So this is the document here, and actually, let me just go to Thugger Daily because they've actually done a pretty good job in like covering all this. But let's see. Oh wow, Bonnie Willis is even talking about this. Bonnie Willis would not go down lightly, people. She is still going hard. Bonnie Willis, I told you she was gonna win her thing, like get reelected as DA. She's not going down lightly. Here we go. Where is it? Okay, here we go. So this is the motion here, and the state of Georgia has filed this Jeffrey Williams, basically, and everything with probation will go in front of Judge Paige Whitaker, which people have now colloquially called her YSL foul with Whitaker because she basically, seemingly, really fucks with Doug. She gave him the lightest probation. She said, "Oh, you can't come to Atlanta," and she switched it up. She kind of fucks with them, and also she was cussing out the prosecutors the entire time, right? So now this is the motion to revoke the probation, right? So he's going to go in front of this judge. This judge is going to have to hear it and then decide will it get revoked. Now I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think, especially since this is the first motion, that it will be revoked. But what usually happens is, as a judge, if the prosecutor continues to come, like for example, in the pause on that by the way, continues to come. For example, in the Meek Mill case, once the DA kept coming back saying he's violating, he's violating, the judge at some point had to take some action, and that's how Meek Mill got incarcerated. So usually, when the state is coming with a motion to revoke probation, it will get a couple hearings, but it's very unlikely that on first hearing they're going to be like, okay, give this nigga 15 years in jail. Like that's a heavy, thing. You're taking away his freedom for like 15 years. So now it says, comes down the state of Georgia, by and through the undersigned counsel, and moves this honorable court to immediately revoke the probation of defendant Jeffrey Williams. The defendant has demonstrated blatant disregard for the law, safety of witnesses, and integrity for the judicial proceedings. Okay? So they're saying that Young Thug is playing in the face of the court. The state submits that the defendant continued presence in the community under probationary supervision presents a clear and present danger to public safety and undermines the rule of law. Here's the background of what they're saying. So on October 31st, 2024, Jeffrey Williams was sentenced to probation with conditions that include no contact with the victim or the victim's family. The defendant pled guilty, and the condition of probation was imposed. Okay? Whatever. Let's keep going. So investigator Marissa Rita, and this is where you guys have to understand. So there's someone named Marissa Viverito, okay? This person was a undercover cop. Actually, when they testified in a hearing, cameras are allowed in Fulton County, but they made sure the cameras did not video her. Why? Because she supposedly does undercover things for a gang unit. She testified to and spoke to is a case that we're going to get to right after this. It's related to the Little Baby 4PF shit. So 4PF are beefing with these guys called OMF, which is part of this like bigger like gang called like Goodfellas. And those guys, some of them got indicted federally. And what happened is that in another charge that some of these OMF guys caught, which was a retaliation shooting with remember when Lil Baby shot the music video in that hood? These guys, they shot up the music video that Lil Baby was at. Allegedly, some 4PF dudes went to go shoot him to react, and then they came back to spin back on Lil Baby, or not Lil Baby, let's just say 4PF, but then they shot 2 kids. And when they shot 2 kids, they arrested a bunch of OMF dudes. Apparently they've been tracking these guys for a while, and in the preliminary hearing, because these guys haven't gotten grand jury yet in terms of indictment, apparently the indictments are on the way because the government was realizing OMF, and remember, so this OMF thing and 4PF is like YSL and what's it called? YFN. So Gucci and Thug. Remember, both YFN and YSL got indicted. So essentially, the grand jury hasn't returned an indictment yet. That's why the prosecutor's office thinks that both OMF and 4PF is going to get indicted. That's why they're putting Baby into this, right? I'm just giving you the details. So they haven't gotten indicted yet. What actually happened since, and I've told you about the indictment process, a grand jury indicts, right? Before then, that's not the only way to get people arrested. You could get a complaint. That's on the federal level. But also, there's a different way, which is kind of like a complaint on the state level. They lock these dudes up. Why? Because they The investigator that was supposed to be undercover is someone named Marissa Viverito. Okay? Marissa Viverito. Now, she's been identified because people were in court and noticed her and they immediately doxed her. Okay? But she was testifying, it was supposed to be private. She testified to a few things. Yo, these OMF dudes are beefing with 4PF. We got wiretaps. So this is how you know an indictment definitely is coming. If they spent money on wiretaps, that means they're really locked in. You get what I'm saying? They really are in, like they're locked in to see what's going on. They're basically saying, we heard on one of the wiretaps, the OMF dude saying, little baby got tickets on niggas' heads. What is a ticket? He got a price on certain people getting knocked off. Okay? So again, we haven't seen indictments yet, but clearly they're on the way. Now, what ended up happening is that, and by the way, let me play this. Chat, I'm giving you the whole story. By the way, again, if you guys just got here, we definitely, okay.
Since 1882, Galbani cheesemakers have been the mozzarella experts. So no matter how you slice it, stack it, or snack it, you get a taste of Dolce Vita. Try Galbani, Italy's #1 cheese brand.
Insurance rates increasing? Schedule a free policy review at morganschiebelInsurance.com.
Dreaming of getting to the big game?
I wanted to go since I was a kid.
Try Priceline to get a last-minute flight deal. Travel safe, man.
I want to thank y'all for joining the smoking podcast.
So professional.
Smoke session.
Who's trained? Who entrusts your baby with just
Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate that.
BMW parts and BMW trained technicians with
You know what I'm
transparent
saying?
pricing that's competitive. BMW Value Service Program.
You feel me? Y'all keep smoking. Kids don't do drugs.
As you could with Kathy, baby.
I didn't. Is this their new sister and brother? Oliver lost his family just like you guys. Needed someone that could keep in special care. Listen, gotta tell you a secret. Listen. It's from the angel. It's a beautiful angel. You think... Listen. Listen. Some people believe the spirit stays in the body for months after death. We can bring her back. Listen.
We got like 2K on here. It's 2K people watching right now.
We might get Dave Blunts on here. Oh, that's crazy. That's great.
Oh, y'all got
Might get
blunts.
Dave Blunts on here. Amazing. Okay. So, chat, what was happening, and let me see if I can bring this up. Essentially, this is what they played in court. It was a wiretap. Now, remember this. Once the wiretap go out, once they're playing the wiretap in court, the investigation damn near is over. Because the feds are revealing their hand. We had your phone wiretap. This is the wiretap. Check it out.
Oh, what's up? Like, come on, bro. You know what you go on. Like, how the hell you can? You know what I'm saying? They ain't even like that, man. Got tickets on a lot of these folks. I'm
Marissa Vivierno speaking. So they're playing a wiretap, and she's decoding it as the gang expert, who also goes undercover.
Referred to as Unc.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders.
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by what do you mean on somebody's head? What's that?
Like a bounty.
Okay. To have them arrested?
Harmed. For him.
And who were they referring to in that portion of the call?
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones had tickets on a lot of people's heads.
Dominique Jones is Lil Baby.
Dominique Jones had wanted to have people on.
Correct.
All right, moving on.
Oh, what's up? Oh, my God.
I'll let you hear it again.
Like, come on, bro, you know what's going to go on. Like, out of here, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Ain't like that, man. Got tickets on a lot of these folks.
We just heard somebody say.
Okay. Now, let's go back. So, the reason why, and this is going to escalate very quickly. If you notice, let's go to Lil Baby's page. By the way, all this is going to all mix in together. This is going to be really messy, chat. Lil Baby did post on a story. Well, you notice he ain't posting nothing. And I don't know who this person is. But click on her. She is, I guess they're doing some Don Julio collab or whatever. Okay, this is Baby at a Don Julio collab with, oh, I know this guy. This is David Druckmann. He owns half of Miami. I think he owns Club Live. He owns all that shit. You know what I mean? Club Live, come over, all that shit. Okay. So, Lil Baby really ain't saying nothing. But I'm going to be honest with you. I think Lil Baby, at this point, has to be preparing for the worst. So, again, going back to this, they lock up some OMF dudes for shooting kids when they were trying to shoot 4PF niggas. Okay? They're waiting on the indictment because the government basically saying there's an indictment coming that's kind of like a RICO on these guys. Because they've been doing a lot of fun. And based on that, people are saying, well, if you're going to indict them, you got to indict their ops. Their ops is 4PF. The person who testified, because the indictment came down, is the investigator, Marissa Vivierno. They played the wiretaps where people are saying people got tickets on people's heads, which they're now trying to say is Baby. And now, here's the thing. Investigator Marissa Vivierno is currently testifying in a multi-gang murder indictment. So, let me backtrack a little bit. I'll backtrack a little bit. What Young Thug did to have this is how you know this 4PF shit is real. Young Thug posted a woman, Marissa Vivierno. He said, biggest liar in the DA office. He posted her. Okay? And then he also reposted, all my homies hate Vivierno. Now, this is someone who is a officer of the law. This is someone who is a government official. When you do that and you're under probation, the government is going to be like, oh, you said a smoke signal that people should hurt this woman? That's why they're doing a motion to revoke his shit. Why did he do this? Because she's testifying in the OMF case, and she's basically saying, yo, OMF and 4PF, Lil Baby and them, they're beefing and niggas is dying, and indictment's gonna come down. So, Young Thug, I don't know why he did this, he tweeted her out. He should have left this alone. So that's why they're revoking it. Investor Marissa Vivierno is currently testifying in a multi-defendant gang murder preliminary hearing, which remains ongoing and is set to reconvene on Monday. During this hearing, the court explicitly ordered that the witnesses not be shown on television while testifying. Despite this order, a known blogger deliberately violated the court's directive by posting on social media she doesn't want to be shown on screen. Well, here she is, along with a photo of investigator Vivierno. On Tuesday, April 1st, Jeffrey Williams, oh yeah, I can't see, I'm sorry. Okay. On Tuesday, on April 1st, Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, amplified this act by reposting an image with the caption, Marissa Vivierno is the biggest liar in the DA's office. To basically equate this to something you may understand. Imagine being on probation and saying, fuck the court, fuck the clerk, or fuck somebody that runs the court system. It's not smart, and I don't know why Young Thug would do it. However, he said Marissa Vivierno is biggest liar in the DA's office. It says this post went quickly viral, amassing 2 million views with thousands of comments and retweets, many of which include direct threats to investor Viviero and her family. Here's the direct threats. It says a direct consequence of these social media posts, Viviero's home address and her parents' home address were publicly posted, exposing them to grave danger. And by the way, you're going to see it in Exhibit A. One post stated, if the hate is really real, then pull up on her mama's crib, alongside a photograph of her mother's residence. You'll be able to see that too. Hours later, an additional post emerged threatening the assassination of the district attorney, Fonnie Willis. The escalation from targeting a testifying witness to making a direct death threat against the elected district attorney of Fulton County is a grave and unprecedented attack on the justice system. It says this is not an isolated incident. It's part of a calculated campaign of intimidation, harassment, and misinformation.
How y'all feel if I grow my beard out on the sides? Get the Rick Ross junk going. You think that look good on me? I look like Marvin Gaye. What do you think? I think it look good on me with the sides.
Stance of disdain
what y'all think?
Towards the state by referring to your honor as YSL Whitaker. Remember the judge who gave Doug this very favorable sentence, her name is Paige Whitaker. So her name is Judge Paige Whitaker. But because she was so down, you know what niggas say? YSL Whitaker, which is the judge. Okay? It's the judge, right? So they're even saying to the judge, yo, this shit is so tainted, they're calling you a YSL man. What the fuck? Here we go. This ongoing manipulation and public perception through social media is intended to obstruct justice, silence witness, and threaten those who enforce law. So here's the legal basis where they're given for revocation. They're saying that defendants' continued association with individuals actively involved in witness intimidation, threats of violence, and obstruction of justice constitutes a clear violation of probation conditions. These acts mirror the established tactics of criminal organizations as defined blah blah blah. Georgia courts have consistently upheld the revocation of probation for conduct that endanger witnesses, obstructs justice, or threaten public officials. Failure to act decisively will only encourage further attempts to threaten, harass, and intimidate those who were involved in the case. The state asserts that not addressing this matter directly with the defendant would fail to serve as an adequate deterrent, given the gravity and escalating nature of these threats. Furthermore, as both the defendant and this court acknowledged during the plea and sentencing, the defendant wields significant influence over people worldwide, amplifying his potential impact of actions. Okay? No need for revocation. It says the integrity of this court and safety for those involved in the prosecution are at stake. The defendant's probation should be immediately revoked to prevent harm, ensure compliance with the law, and send a clear message that witness intimidation and threats against public officials will not be tolerated. The state urges this court to take swift and decisive action by revoking the defendant's probation and remanding them into custody without delay. Okay? By the way, this letter was submitted by Fonnie Willis. Okay? It says, conclusion, wherefore the state of Georgia respectfully requests this court to schedule a hearing to address the immediate revocation or modification of the defendant's probation as it deems appropriate, and order the defendant to reimburse the costs incurred by law enforcement and for the additional protective measures necessitated by their actions. They probably gave her a security detail because of this, and they want Thug to pay for it. And impose any further sanctions necessary to safeguard witnesses, prosecutors, and integrity of the judicial process. Now, here's the exhibit A. Apparently, this is the blogger that did it. Infamous Sylvia, who said this is her testimony, so she doxed her. Then, here's Thug's tweet. Then, Thug again, when he retweeted, "Oh my homies hate her." Then, someone else put this on Instagram. It said, "Dumbass used to live at altitude and got my Airbnb shut down." Right? And then, some random person says, "If the hate is real, then saying that these people are listening to Young Thug. I'll personally make sure Fonnie Willis is banned. Okay. And this is just a transcript to kind of like explain what's going on. So essentially, they want Young Thug back in jail. I don't believe that he will be incarcerated. I don't believe that his probation will be revoked, which means that he would have to serve over 10 years, 10 plus years in prison. What I think what will happen is that they're going to stiffen some of the measures. Hey, whether it's, maybe tweet, even though that becomes an interesting thing because you're trying to inflict or infringe on this First Amendment, which is freedom of speech. But they're gonna do something. Hey, your curfew is earlier. You can't do this. Hey, we know we changed your thing to say you could go to Atlanta for work, but fuck that, you can't go to Atlanta at all. They're gonna do a few things, or that's what the state is asking, that there's some modifications or a revocation, but modifications could severely fuck up Thug as well. Okay? Alright. So, that's currently what's going on. I feel like we've covered this little baby stuff, right? Because we've played we played. Okay, here we go.
Pertaining to that. So, we'll add for each of you. We would recall about immediately, and then
Oh, looked like she was audio recording what's going on in court, and she ignored when the judge says, "Hey, this witness cannot be recorded or put out," and she probably ignored it.
Oh well, okay. But this is the reason. Okay. So, and what if they there was a particular
and she put out a picture of the woman. Okay. That makes sense. So, here's the thing. Let me touch on this little baby possible RICO charge. Well, baby. I don't believe Lil Baby will be involved in a RICO charge, but I do believe 4PF will be indicted. Okay? I think Lil Baby was smart enough to run from the hills, even though it's a possibility that prosecutors still try to get him a part of the RICO just because he's the attractive name. But I do think that he got out of Dodge before a lot of this shit happened, which is, the shooting of the kids and this constant back and forth with violence or gun violence. So I think he's going to escape from the RICO, or even if he's involved in the RICO, it's going to be they're not going to really have much unless he was really putting, as they say, tickets on people's head. And let's say someone got killed and they rolled on Baby to say, "Oh yeah, Baby the one who's Baby to kill somebody." I don't think they have too much on Baby, okay? So I think he should not be jammed up too crazy. Okay? Give me 1 second. We haven't really heard much. Let's see. We played the wiretaps already. Let's see if we find anything else. Now remember, this anticipation about the RICO for 4PF comes from a journalist out Neon Flag, or his name is George Cheedy, out of Atlanta. Listen, Instagram, Twitter, Neon Flag. Here we go. Yeah, I forgot he went to this other platform. Let's see what he's talking about. Okay, yeah, he's not talking about that anymore. yeah, a lot of people are saying, what? FBI, nah, that's fake. That is fake. These are the wiretaps.
In Atlanta DA office want to give it one more swing at trying to get them a mainstream megastar rapper hit with a RICO case. And this one kind of get a little bit tricky because if you remember that interview that Yachty and Lil Baby did together, and Lil Baby was kind of explaining why he was trying to get away from the 4PF name because he felt hearing it come down the pipeline that they was trying to make this seem like it was more than just a rap label and kind of trying to really entangle him into some real street situations that got going on. So now you're seeing some paperwork fly around and sitting here saying that it seemed like Lil Baby was putting money on people's head. And some of them say, you know what's so funny is because when you see people on the internet and people like to sit here, because I remember right after that Yachty interview, it was some dude who was sitting here trying to say, oh, Lil Baby was a fraud and this, that, and the third. And sometimes I think people don't understand. Even let's just sit here and say, if you just got you a square from Delaware and he never done nothing, you give him some fame and some money, he's going to bump elbows with people who want to realistically get it shaken. And I think a lot of times just because people haven't got to like bump elbow. Right.
By the way, you know, going back to the Young Thug thing, Young Thug did post this on Twitter, which Brian still got me like, bro, let's not go through this again. Young Thug denied making threats to this investigator. He says, I don't make threats. I don't make treats actually to people. I'm a good person. Never condone anyone threatening anyone or definitely participated in threatening anyone. I'm all about peace and love. Only thing I can say to Thug, unfortunately for him, cops aren't that stupid to go out your work. So they know you were trying to kind of send a smoke signal to get somebody harassed, at least, at the very least. Okay. I don't know, man. There's a possibility there.
Yeah, that means, like, again,
yeah, I really don't think he's gonna get indicted, but I think 4PF is gonna get indicted. That's it. Okay. Alright. So, that's pretty much the latest with that. Okay? What do you thought, Chad? Yo, Chad, I still can't believe Kanye came on here. That was wild. Okay. Okay. So, I think you got an update on what's going on with Doug, also Baby. If you ask me for, again, I think 4PF will be indicted, not Baby. Or if they do indict Baby, I think it's going to be light. Unless they have real concrete proof that he was ordering murders, and someone who maybe be locked up on killing someone would be like, no, Baby was the pay me, which I don't know if we're gonna get that. Okay? Alright.
Lexia's complete portfolio of solutions can help you implement the science of reading effectively for improved literacy outcomes. We empower educators with the knowledge to be experts in the science of reading through the Lexia Letters Suite and Lexia Aspire Professional Learning. And we help all students read, write, and speak with confidence with Lexia Core 5 Reading, Lexia English Language Development, and Lexia Power Up Literacy.
YouTube.
So actually, let's just kind of, let's not even start with Kanye. You know, it's a glorious Wednesday today, chat. So you know how we gotta start? You know, I keep telling y'all, chat, when you dig a hole, make sure you dig two. And this, you know, I've learned this myself because I've kicked a lot of people's back in. Never realizing I'd be in the position where people care a lot about my life, a lot about random things about me, where they would get the same opportunity to do what I did to them. It gives you a different perspective. It gives you a different way of doing media. It's one of the reasons why, you know, it's not playing favorites necessarily, but with people who I know, and sometimes it might be a story, it might be an allegation against them, I reach out to them. I say, hey, listen, this is coming down the pipeline. Because you realize this internet shit a lot of times is all about piling on. It's all about the mob. You show up with the pitchforks, you show up with the torches. And it's always cool when you're the person who's the head of the mob getting somebody else. But that's why I said if you dig a pit or you dig a hole, just dig two. Because it's always your turn is always gonna come. I've never seen it where nobody's turn never came. I remember Chrissy Teigen. She was one of the beloved ones, and her turn came. Afterwards, she was saying that she felt that she wanted to get out of here because of how the vitriol was with her. But she had zero idea how she made it. So I've been on both sides of this chat, and you know, I think it's improved how I report on stuff. And I'm not saying I'm still perfect, but y'all could at least say, you one of the niggas who, yeah, you talk shit about people, but when it's time for niggas to talk shit about you, you sit there and you let it happen. You realize it's a yin and yang. Okay? So Jess Hilarious, which is someone who was a comedian, a IG personality, she was hired to the Breakfast Club. Her issue with me was really nothing, but you know, she's a woman, so you know, there's a running narrative like I hate women. Well, I give everybody stuff. I tell everybody. I talk about everybody, but they don't want to focus on that. They're like, nah, you just only hate women, because the reality of it is that the biggest blogs are female blogs, so they're posting me talking about females, and the male blogs, they don't give a fuck if I diss Soulja Boy. They don't care, right? Or I diss some other person, or male. They don't care. Lil Baby, or they don't care. So that developed me, I guess, a reputation. One that I really think is inaccurate, but whatever. You know, again, with the internet, you can't fight a narrative. So Jess Hilarious is always just like, I think partially for that, but also, and y'all gonna think I'm trolling. I genuinely, when I first saw her, this is when really like the whole transgender movement was like really new. I looked at her and she looked like a very masculine person cosplaying as a woman. I didn't know she was a woman. I thought she had a dangling. Her facial structure, her voice, her tonality, her behavior, it told me she was a male. I thought she was a transgender individual. Now, when I put that opinion out there, a lot of people didn't like it. Why are you saying that? I'm like, what? Wait, am I the only one that notices masculinity? Now, in reality, and just to be fair to her, Jess Hilarious is the epitome, and I want to speak about a certain class before I get to this video. Now, I'm not speaking about them or trying to put them down to make me look good, because I think this internet shit and everything else has been a testing ground. Everything's a testing ground. Because you could get popping online, and then you can't speak in front of a crowd. You could get, like, I used to write my jokes. I tell you this, I used to write my jokes for my YouTube videos. I don't know if I was naturally funny at first, but eventually I started freestyling. And what now you guys see on stream, if you ever think I'm being humorous, is because I I learned the skill and ability to just kind of riff and be able to kind of get it on the spot. All my early YouTube videos were written scripts. It was about like 70% written, and I would like ad-lib about, or ad-lib or like just interject about 30%. That's reality. Now, why am I saying this? Because I don't want to be a hypocrite. And what I'm trying to say is that there's a class of people, especially the IG comedians, that popped off on Instagram, but we never knew they were talented or were they not. It's hard to tell. They gain a lot of following really quickly. People clearly would watch them. And oftentimes we can tell if it was genuine talent or maybe an ability to work those social platforms. I'm going to use two people. Jess Hilarious, and I'm going to use DC on the Fly. I actually was skeptical of DC on the Fly initially at first. I was like, you sound like you're stubborn. You don't like cosplay. He might not be really that funny. I'm here to tell you, maybe it's because, and not that maybe, I think definitely, because I've seen him work. You remember he used to be like, boy, bring your hands here. I see him go from that to start working comedy clubs and putting in that hard work that everybody, even if you get popping online, you can't avoid the work. DC Young Fly is genuinely funny. I went to go see the 85 South 85 is it South Shore? They performed at the Prudential Center, Jersey. DC Young Fly is fucking hilarious in person. You could tell. He's not only honed a talent to be able to host, he's a great comedian. He's funny. He's comical. He's a person that what you see online will translate to what you see in person. Now, and I hope people realize it's not an anti-woman thing. She just happens to be. Jess Hilarious is quite the opposite. Okay? She's one of the people that popped off by having the ratchet cosplay of what a black female is, and that gets the hee-hees and the laughs and the giggles online, maybe a skit or a 20-second, 30, or maybe even 50-second video. But when that person has to sit there and actually entertain you, you realize there's not much there. Now, shout out to Corey Hope. He's titled her as less hilarious, or whatever the case is. But in reality, the equalization of this clout era already happened. She popped off on Instagram for comedy, but eventually that comedy had to be seen. As I said, DC Young Fly, he lived up to it. This woman, she's dyslexic. If you put her name on her cake, she wouldn't even know that it was for her. Okay? She barely could read. From what I hear, she can't write neither. Okay? If you had her and Floyd to read 2 coherent sentences without stuttering, you're going to be in for a hell of a day. She was never really talented. She was a hack. Everybody, but all the comedians who were actual pros who worked with her said that. Yet, what she was good at is channeling one energy. The black, ratchet female. However, the gig is up. The shtick is up. Stick a fork in it. She thought she made a power move when she got hired to Breakfast Club as a replacement for Angela Yee. Feeling herself, thinking that she could be the real comedian on there, because Charlamagne isn't a comedian, even though he's really the A Mike. She quickly was humbled when they wanted her to fill in for some duties that Angela Yee did, but she couldn't do it. She couldn't read a sentence. She couldn't say really anything without trying to lean into this ratchet, like, it's only good for baddies. And basically, they hired her replacement after she got pregnant, who is now taking her job. I know, I'm sorry for the long lead up. Before I play her crashing out last night, and yes, one more of the tell you why she reacted. Okay?
I don't think I should be in swim shorts for this.
Imagine a world where network setups are quick, consistent, and secure. That world is here, Red Hat Ansible Automation Platform. Dive deeper into network automation by signing up for a free trial at the link in the description. Experience the power of automation firsthand.
Cab Recon is capable of speeds up to 70 miles per hour, making it the fastest e-bike available. With over 200 foot-pounds of torque and 20 kilowatts of power, the Cab Recon rides like none other. An industry-leading 63 amp-hour battery means you'll be able to ride all day long. Fully adjustable suspension and moto wheels deliver excellent grip and stability, giving you the confidence to take on any terrain. Whether you're daily commuting or embarking on a long adventure, the Cab Recon is the ideal ride to take on your journey. Order your Cab Recon e-bike today and get ready to enjoy the exciting thrill of riding like never before.
Corey Holcomb. Eloquent man. By the way, seasoned comedian. He called her out and brought her to the table about her talent, or should I say lack thereof.
And now I heard about her up at the Breakfast Club.
She's got
Well, this is what happened at the Breakfast Club. She took that job. She got that job because I think she had a social media presence. I can't imagine why else.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
So she got that job, and I always said she wasn't talented.
Say number one.
She got the job and got knocked up shortly afterwards. And the worst thing in the world happened. They brought in somebody who was talented.
Who they bring in?
Homegirl from she used to be on TNT.
Yeah, she has experience with doing that. When she talks, her voice. I don't know her name.
Yeah.
The girl who is Lauren. That
Girl
know what she doing. She knows how to fit in with Charlemagne and the other guy, DJ Envy. It's
that's like Tony Baker.
There.
Right.
It's the talent. The talent shows out. And then Les and Larry's ain't even reading right. And now she had a job where all she had to do was deliver the news. She had a segment on the Breakfast Club. The other girl who has experience and talent at this job took her segment. Not because she tried to, it's just you saw somebody who's talented. And then you see, read that lesson, Larry.
And she stood in for her when she took off maternity leave.
When she stood in for, Les and Larry, you should have had your baby on camera at the Breakfast Club. Because they brought in somebody who is talented. And you can say I'm dissing, because that's what you're going to do. You're going to act like I'm hating. I'm not hating. You don't got the it. Yo.
Now, you know, there's other people I could call out, but I won't call them out. I mean, Les Laris is really just, she's one of those people who are hiding behind the social media following. And she's getting exposed for lacking talent, finally.
Who had to deliver it, right? But now they got somebody doing your segment better than you, and it's just flawless. It's effortless. And the girl tried to be your friend, and everybody could see you ain't trying to be her friend.
Hold up, be quiet. How everybody a real estate agent? How everybody? Because a lot of the wags do that.
Rihanna for a long time. This matter. No, listen, hush. This is not a. No, Lauren. No, just listen. Just please hush. This is not a Taylor Swift football game situation.
So I want to say to old girl Lauren, I hope that you get the job.
Okay, anyway. Let's just get to Jess Hilarious. I don't think she got fired, but she basically crashed out on her employers, which is the Breakfast Club, and even her co-host, because she seems to be aiming some of the vitriol even as Charlemagne died. Just listen up. As I said, you know what God told me in a dream? Yo, act. All those who went against you, they will die a tragic death.
fucking hate on that girl. I don't. No, I didn't like her when I came back because I'm like, all right, what's going on? What's going on? She knew it. We had a conversation. Because the anger was misplaced. Nah, it ain't even you that I don't like. I'm realizing this is the way these niggas is doing shit up here that I don't like. Okay, got it. Now, it's her segment. I went to the person who does the intros, the sounds, went to Taylor. Yo, Taylor, make Lauren her intro. Take Jess with the mess off that shit. She says, things can't just change like that. Why the fuck not? Why not? Y'all changing everything else, and I'm the only one that don't know. My goofy ass don't know nothing. I'm just coming to work every day, just zippity-doo-dah-day, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, take my name off that shit. Jess with the mess is not at Breakfast Club. I'm Jess Hilarious up here. Fuck, I'm Jessica Moore up here. Jess with the mess is not being done. Lauren LaRosa is doing the shit. So that need to be her segment. I fought for that segment. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? While her fans and her people is in the Breakfast Club people and you know, the people in the comments, man, I'm not ready to sit up here and act like I don't see that shit. They all crazy. One thing I ain't never try to do is act unbothered unless shit never bothered me, man. What? You try coming back to work. You try to come back to work, and the motherfucker is right there at your desk, and ain't nobody telling you shit, mind you. Nobody telling you nothing, mind you. Before you know it, everybody thinking you're the villain. Like I'm the villain, cause I didn't know shit. I'm sick of that. I'm very, very sick of that. I'm sick of this shit. It's weird. It's weird. I don't fuck with it. Just be quiet up there. I'm not fighting over no mic space. I'm not fighting over no mic. That's why I went from shut up and hush to not saying nothing.
I told this untalented, unfunny motherfucker, Charlamagne's not a comedian, but he's the only one that's funny on radio. Let me tell you this, Charlamagne, like, you know, I would love to be a comedian. I don't know if I would be good at it. I'm funny on stream. I don't know if I'm funny in a comedian sense. She claims she's funny. I don't know. I guess people go to her show. Maybe she's funny in real life. But she's not funny on radio. She placates the black. It's like a Medea movie. When you're watching Jess Hilarious, and this is the problem with a lot of female comedians, they give you a Medea movie. It's so like overblown, ratchet and black and like it's just like loud, obnoxious. Like that's not where the majority of black comedians, males, get their humor. They're witty. They know how to jump in and out. They're almost like, you know, they're like Floyd with it. Most of the female black comedians, they're just loud. They're just ratchet. They're just child. Like No, the red nigga, she sound worse than Flacco and Fresher Fit. Come on. That shit was atrocious. Can't read, the only time, and then here's the thing what she don't know. Charlamagne's the head honcho up there. What she is supposedly good at, Charlamagne covers all bases. We want to hear Charlamagne with the little quicks and the little pot shots and the little slick comments. That's Charlamagne's job. Oh, you think you think they hired another Charlamagne? Is the Eagles? No. You're the reader. You should have took a reading class. I guess she didn't know.
Oh, no. I'm not gonna compete where I already won this competition. I didn't know it was supposed to be 4.
Hey, you know what let me say in my comments section. Explain this in NFL terms. Basically, this bitch thought that she could go fuck off on her job, and her backup took her job, and she tried to get it back. And they basically said, no, you on special teams now. And she like, what? What the fuck? How my backup better than me? Well, we didn't realize you had no talent. The bench player took your job when you got, let's not call it injured, because, we love mothers. When you went on maternity leave, the bench player took your job. I'd be damned if a bench player take my job. Bitch, if I was you, I'd be reading 1,000,000 miles per minute. I'd be going crazy. I would be going crazy. How you lose your job on your day off to the bench player? Everybody on Instagram bitching and moaning. Grant, I seen your comment. You were right. You know what Grant Wizard said? And this is to everybody out there who's entrepreneurs who got jobs. He said, I knew this bitch was going to lose her job the minute she came in with a strong opinion about the Drake album. And she admitted in the first 45 seconds she never listened to the album. Your job is on a radio station that's, the main income is around promoting hip-hop and R&B music. One of the biggest hip-hop and R&B albums just dropped. And you're coming in to have a definitive opinion and state that you know what people are saying or what the vibe is. What's your opinion? You never listen to it. By the way, chat, don't just take my word. I'm gonna look it up for you in real time. Look.
I say because it's just a moody mother effer. Just said I don't like the album. Did you listen to it? No. Like, man.
Let me find out.
Then the next day, I love it. I love the album. Jessica moody ass more. Alright? Let Jessica go through whatever she's going through.
Let me find out you the reason he posted that Instagram caption, letting people know he was on his way. Oh my God. No. The album is cool. I don't know. I said an opinion too quick. That's all it is.
She said she never listened.
New Airhead Sour Boss. Start sour and stay sour.
Hey, video creator. We know you. For you, it's about more than getting the job done. You'll keep going until it's perfect. Oh, that's the one. Artless Video Generator is built for you, the creator. You'll take your creativity to the edge, and then go beyond. Again, and again, and again. With all the AI tools you need in one place, covered by the right license for you. We'll always make sure you have everything to make your next masterpiece. So go to Artlist and start creating without limits. Oh, again?
Stop dreaming and start looking. Your next trip is just a deal away on Priceline. Priceline.
Now, when you get, hey chat, you see I work regular jobs. There's so much hardworking people in here. Shout out to my truck drivers, my Amazon delivery drivers, all my people who really getting it from the mud. If you a plumber and you show up to a goddamn motherfucking job without your wrench, would you be mad that they said, you go home, we're gonna get the nigga that got the wrench? Shorty was showing up unprepared, late. By the way, we didn't
me watch it on the monitors when I.
Wait, hold on. Is it this? No. I had cold tweeted, but it's probably like way down my cold tweets. Let me see if I can find it. Thanks. Again, I don't want to make this a big topic because we definitely got to get to motherfucking. I got to get to, record again. I got to get to, Ye. And Ye said a lot of shit. I don't even know if that shit's still up. You know what I'm saying? I retweeted that shit. I was just like, these motherfuckers right here are the worst. Here we go. I'm about to find it. Oh, your tax though. You another thing I marked off the op list, man. Shout out to tax though, man. You know what I mean? Heard you in the hole, holding it down. Fuck you, gang. You know what I mean? God told me he was gonna take care of you. He did. Okay? Chat, after God take care of people, I got nothing against. Oh, this is.
And, you know, trying to prove that he's not dead, he's very much alive. There's a lot going on.
She got the loudest voice. She trying to be ratchet. She thinks she talk for all black females who speak Ebonics. Look at this.
I don't even know why, though. I mean, but he is charty, so I am gonna give him that. Yes, he's charty. That is exactly where I was about.
By the way, she's speaking. She didn't ever listen to Drake's album.
About to go. I don't know why, because at this point, I know we talked about it in here, and I know y'all don't care for some sexy songs for you, but the boy is moving.
Even this one, hate too. But she probably listen. That's the thing. She do her homework. So if she gonna say some hate shit, at least she listen. The other one never listen.
He is right now some second.
Congratulations.
No, yeah. Which is so unfair for him.
He's still a superstar. He still has.
To just immediately think back to some of Kendrick's lyrics. Like, remember, he was like, I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk, even the way that you dress. Yeah, people talk about his outfits on tour. And I'm like, that's crazy because I
hate the way you apply to a new job. Fucking lazy. Keep it nice. Chick.
Even the stuff he's been doing on tour, so like this how corny it was. I realized how corny it was.
The same thing with the outfits. He's been doing the outfits too.
Finding and pointing down.
There's no arrow pointing to his mouth.
Even though, you know, that, you know, I love Drake blinders though, have been taken off.
Well, he did these stupid videos before.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Let's just get back to this shit, man. We'll just move on very soon, Chad. I mean, listen, I just have to bask in my ops leading themselves to failure.
But he already won this competition. I didn't know it was supposed to be 4. If this was presented to me, you know, prior or higher, then I wouldn't have been so shocked. Like, oh shit, all right, cool. So we'll be bringing in the 4th person. Shit, that's what's up. Cool. It's only time for that segment. You know what I'm saying? We had a meeting today to restructure the show and shit like that. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. That went crazy too.
Oh shit.
Listen.
The irony of all this, chat, they gave this uneducated, illiterate, unintelligent woman a segment that was pretty much like an Angela Yee segment, right? Called Just With The Mess. And of all, I think she's been doing it for about a year, maybe 2, I don't know. For all the time she's been doing the segment, the only time she came with the mess was when she was airing out the Breakfast Club, right here. This is the best segment she ever did. She not getting paid, she on IG Live.
It's a lot of shit. It's a lot of things that I deal with. I ain't expecting not one motherfucker to feel sorry for me because that's not what I'm looking for. I don't care.
Oh, really?
And I haven't said a motherfucking thing. At all. At all. I haven't said anything. This the crazy thing, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all know this. The craziest shit is, right? I wanted Breakfast Club so bad. I wanted it. I grew up on the show. The fuck? Like, what? Hall of Fame show? What are we talking about?
Somebody said, did I lose steak? Bruh. Chat, please stop believing all Listen, I've never lost a sponsorship. I'm gonna keep it being with you. You feel me? I got Happy Dad right here. See now y'all just got me flexing shit. Alright, Happy Dad. Y'all all go buy it, okay? Y'all all go buy it. Alright? Happy Dad is right here. What else I got? Steak. We're good with steak. Steak loves us. You feel what I'm saying? Actually, I'll keep it being. Actually, I won't tell you. It's like y'all gonna start hating because it's not an us thing and a steak thing. It's a different thing. But yeah, if y'all want to see steak on the joint? Yo, Grant, start putting steak back on the shit. Them niggas want to see steak. Steaks are people's. You know what I'm saying?
Indicated, Rick. This ain't my first time doing radio, but I'm just saying.
The only people who did anything to us was Twitch. Honestly, truth be told.
Like, this is the biggest fucking show culturally. You know what I'm saying? I was eating that shit up the whole year I co-hosted. Eating that shit up until I had to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a baby. In this industry, what I'm doing ain't no right time to have a baby, so you have them when you have them.
Okay.
I don't regret what I got.
Yeah.
I don't.
When you watching, you see when you watching like these black ratchet chicks, their head is always tilted to the left. It's like they don't have no type of equilibrium. They don't know perpendicular angles and shit like that. Their head is always like this. Like they're always, and that's their attitude head. You know what I mean? Like they can't just talk. Like their head is always tilted to the fucking side. You know what I mean? When I hear these chicks talk, I be ad-libbing. Okay. Like I be saying all type of dumb shit. Like you gotta imagine some sexy red like ad-lib for these chicks, bro. I'm telling you, I ain't gonna lie. It's a really disgusting culture. I really don't like that. Period. I ain't gonna lie. That's what it do. Period. Poo.
I got pregnant on fucking purpose. That's what I wanted, a baby, and that's what I got. You know?
Oh yeah, we about to get DoorDash, man. Yeah. DoorDash hit me about the email. I was like, nigga, I really buy from them. Chat, we about to get DoorDash as one of our sponsors. But I think when we get them, just to let y'all know, we're gonna have the sponsorship shit in the right corner. So over there, it's just gonna have to be like a rotating shit, but in like a code or something. But no, but DoorDash love me.
You know what I'm saying? But I wanted Breakfast Club. You feel me? I'm gonna say this.
Bro, she kind of look like a man, bro. Like, I really thought she was a man. Like, I mean, I'll apologize. Like, I guess she a woman. Y'all got a DNA test. Like, if she is, I don't know why I thought she was a man. I thought she was a man. I'm sorry.
I don't fucking need to be there. I wanted to be there. I loved being there. That was my shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, that was my shit. I used to be happy as a motherfucker on the radio. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not intimidated by no woman walking on this earth. I give a crown to that girl. If you listen to the show, you know. Even time when she tried to be my friend. Excuse me? Ain't nobody trying to be no motherfucking friends. What are we talking about?
Period, Pooh.
We just naturally, organically became cool. Oh. Once I realized what the fuck was going on, like I said, my anger was misplaced. No, I did not like her when I first came back. I didn't. Even down to how I was supposed to return. Like, we had a whole plan on how I was supposed to come back. When I walk in the room, she never left. First thing she said is not, how your baby doing? No, that was Indy, because he's the family man, right? How was maternity leave? No, that's not the first. The first thing that she talks about is the shit that was in the comments. What the fuck would make me want to talk about the fucking comments first? I got a beautiful baby at home. Why? You know what I'm saying? So no, I did not like her when I first came back. I had to learn that Lauren was not a spiteful person. Like, I'm like, I don't like the way you're moving. I don't like, I ain't feeling this shit. We had a whole nother plan. I don't know what the fuck what that was in there, but that shit wasn't it. I ain't like that. We've made cool since then. That's it. Right? I compliment this girl every fucking day. Every day. And it ain't forced. She's a beautiful girl. She knows her shit and she on her shit. And that segment came from me. Like Let's not even sit here and fucking play around with it. Like, it's the crazy thing. This is another crazy thing. We supposed to be a team up that bitch. Not one person comes to my defense at all. Like when like not one motherfucker ever with this online shit. Like, why the fuck should we have to keep playing it? Man, listen, I know one thing. Angela, he ain't that motherfucking crazy. Not as crazy as niggas try to make out to be. Nah, it's the reason that lady wanted to leave that show. I don't know how she did that shit for 13 years, my nigga. I'm telling you. I don't give a fuck. Y'all already know what's up with me. I feel played with. I'ma play with niggas. Like, that's just like,
Pause. I mean, well, now, shoot. Pause.
come on. I've been quiet a lot. If Just Hilarious is quiet, it's a motherfucking reason. I always got my motherfucking mouth open. All the time.
Pause.
Whether it's something y'all want to hear or it's something that y'all ain't gonna want to hear. I ain't got time. Didn't go live to talk about that retired ass nigga. Who
You talking about Cordell this past week?
I fought for that. The fuck is we talking about? I don't know how long it's gonna take for a motherfucker to confirm that. But yeah, it's like that. I started saying shit on air. Like I said, I don't know if y'all really listen to, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all really listen to that shit 6
Jordy, you're not funny, bro. You're not funny, bro. Not on air. Maybe you're funny in a comedian sense. Let me play a little bit of this. We got
Morning,
this
everybody.
you got this. You know what I mean?
We
Again,
supposed to be a team.
I'm just basking in my ops finally having their day. But in reality, who the fuck gives a fuck about Just Hilarious? Come on, bro.
Well, at first,
so now, apparently she ain't showed up to her job in a while. She showed up. This bitch got on reading glasses. I'm done. I'm gonna get y'all. This bitch couldn't read a lick. Jack, this bitch couldn't read a lick.
Even Joe was like,
bitch show up with reading glasses.
he's like, who am I gonna do when I get that nigga?
I'm gonna catch y'all.
He's like, who am I gonna get me? Obama said, no, Trump said the first time.
You know what? You about to get fired.
Biden said it.
Like, you ready?
Mr.
She
Bill
showed
said,
up
no, they got
glasses.
Cabot.
Then they bought
Got you Cabot. They got Cabot.
Nigga,
They got her.
she's so tapped in.
And,
she got earbuds in her ear. Not even
it's
AirPods. Just give me the
gotta
cord.
find who like you.
This chick, Tech, you know when you've been fighting, like, listen, you know you was taking, y'all get 15-minute breaks, you've been taking 25 this whole time.
I like Trump.
The day you know the boss falls there and he might fire your ass,
he just
you don't
disappeared.
even take a 15. You know what you take? A 8. You show up early. Well, I'm ready. No, I already got some to eat. No, I already got some to eat. Yeah, no, I got some already. No, I'm ready. I'm back. You delayed this whole fucking time. This bitch show up with reading glasses. Her vision today is like, it's 2020. She's like, give me anything to read. Nigga, she about to read the goddamn Arizona can. She's trying to read everything. Nigga, this bitch be so stupid. Nigga, she be looking at the fucking Apple computer backwards. She be just looking at the Apple side. Nigga, now she looking at the actual screen. Oh, man. This is what happened when your boss show up and like, yo, look, wait, y'all sure she can read? Hold on. Let's show up. Look at this shit. Jack, look at this. Look at this.
no, I did not. I wasn't too fond of Lauren. No, I wasn't too fond of her when I came back because we had a whole plan. Even how when I came back, how I picked her to fill in for me, right?
Yeah, you picked your replacement. Yo, shout out to all the real women in the world who pick their man's side chick. Like, you introduce your man to the next chick he gonna be fucking with, and he like, oh shit, thank you. Shout out to the women or the men who, hey chat, this is how you know you finna get fired. When you finna get fired, 2 weeks before you get fired, they bring in some random nigga, and they tell you to train. You train your replacement. Yeah. you train your replacement. And you know what happened? Because they don't want you, so they're going to fire your bitch ass. So after you done, they know you're going to train at about 60, 70% right. When you going to get a 30 to 40% bullshit. You're like, nah, you can cut this corner. They're going to fire you, and then they're going to take them in, and they're going to train them again. And they're going to do everything that you were doing wrong, they're going to do it right. Yeah. That's what jobs do. Jobs do some shit where you train your replacement.
Come back. She ain't never leave. Then, alright, cool that she don't leave, but she's on only during my segment. If she was meant to be a full post, move her in another way. Why she gotta be moved in on? Because nobody had a problem with Jess with the best until she started reading right. You know what I mean? Till she started reporting. I wasn't hired as a reporter. I was hired as Jess with the best. So she started reading and delivering details and all that stuff. Yes. Then that's when Jess with the mess wasn't good enough no more. That's how it was.
So she basically admitted, y'all didn't tell me read was part of the kid. I thought I was just come on here and I could do my Instagram shit, just talk shit. I got read.
Presented. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Who said that though? Because of the internet?
What are we talking about? No.
Charlamagne, you the one of the GOAT gaslighters I've ever seen. Yo, you see, Charlamagne. Yeah, this is Charlamagne. Like, Charlamagne finna go to politics. My man had Shotty as a motherfucker. He doing good. This ain't the sniffing seat Leonard. This is, I'll be on Fox News, CNN, MSNBC. Let's talk about mental health, Leonard. Charlamagne, man. Real nigga, I like how you lined her up. Man. I don't know if you did it for me, but you know you my nigga. I know you my nigga. I like how you lined her up.
Yeah, she started reporting. I wasn't hired as a reporter. I was hired as Jess with the mess.
Yo, she laughing. The funny thing with Charlamagne laughing with her, you know Charlamagne didn't need the boss that shit. Because if Charlamagne leaves breakfast alone, Charlamagne over here like pandering to her like, oh, like, wait, what happened? Oh shit. Oh, it's the rent. Oh, what? Oh yeah, you're right. Like, nigga, Charlamagne was in a meeting with the executives like, yo, this bitch can't read. We need somebody who can fucking read. That's a fact. Charlotte, you know what Charlamagne doing? Yo, Charlotte, I peeped the play. I love you, brother. I love you. You know, I never said nothing bad about you. I love you. You been my mentor for a long time. But I know the play. What Charlotte's doing is called the LeBron special. You trade AD and act surprised when AD got traded. What? AD didn't trade you? Nigga, I was at a family dinner. I ain't know they traded. What the fuck? What? They traded AD after I won a championship with him? What the fuck? Once AD walked out of the room, where Luka get in? Tell that nigga Luka just holler at me, man. Tell me he got my personal line, he got my Finsta. Okay? Tell him, I know I ain't doing the WAP, but he the only nigga invited to Taco Tuesday. Real talk. Charlamagne doing the LeBron. Charlamagne the TM up there. Charlamagne act like you don't know what's going on. What? They're taking you off of segments. Bro, who you think consulted with all them segments? Bro, Charlamagne is America's Club, bro. That nigga did the LeBron special. Yo, LeBron will trade a nigga that he dapped. Yo, LeBron got mad special handshakes for everybody. You be watching like, damn, how long y'all take to rehearse that? Then he do a chest bump. Then he go over to the side. He put a powder on his hand. You're like, damn, he locked in with these niggas. 2 weeks later, that nigga's traded like a motherfucker. You're like, what the fuck? That was LeBron's twin. LeBron just knew that nigga's watch. LeBron with the new nigga, him and Luka gonna have some complex shit, nigga. You don't know what they gonna be like. What the? How do you learn that shit that quick? Man, LeBron know what he doing, bro. Yo, LeBron done back doing a few niggas. Balls. Charlamagne's like, what? Charlamagne acting dumb. I like it.
She started reading and delivering details and all that stuff.
Yes.
Then that's when Jess with the mess.
Nigga, I guarantee Charlamagne done told him, I tell the jokes. I'm not supposed to do the research. I'm giving color commentary. Charlamagne the only A mic in the game that does color commentary. He doesn't lead because Envy actually leads, but Envy is Envy's not Charlamagne. Like Charlamagne does color commentary, but he's an A. It's the only place we see that. She don't realize Charlamagne is the guy. He's setting up this play. He didn't realize you can't read. First of all, this bitch be coming in here looking ratchet. This is the first time she even looked like, you could bring her out to any other establishment other than, what's that shit that was, some leg, turkey leg? Bitch was dressed every day like she was going to a Waffle House or turkey leg hunt or whatever the fuck they call that shit. Today she looked like she might go to court. You know why? The big boss is watching. Time for you to get fired or something. She got on her bifocals, her spectacles. The nostrils so big as fuck, look like the goddamn Lincoln Tunnel. But at least she came with the reading glasses. It's crazy. How are doctors prescribing reading glasses to people who can't read? Shit don't make sense. But it's okay. It's okay. You ain't never seen her just like this. Hold on, y'all want to go back to a previous episode, you will see her looking ratchet as a motherfucker. But it's okay. Nigga, she looked like Rondo. Yeah, you're right. She looked like Rajon Rondo when that nigga was going to court for his goddamn gun case. Nigga, she looked like she talked through her nostrils, nigga.